Dragon Rider Chronicles Part 1 Becoming a Mastermind. Written by James Bonsbach. Read by Thomas Sadowski. Chapter 1 The Fox and the Kitten. One day the kitten came to the fox, who was known as the trickster, the one who should not be communed with because he may turn you into dust and steal your life. But today that kitten had a curiosity that could not be satisfied by any gossip or folktale told by the other animals. Today, the kitten needed to know the power of the fox for himself. Slowly, the kitten made his way towards the den of the fox, where no one else was willing to go. There was apprehension and fear in the kitten's heart, but he could not turn back now. As he approached the den of the fox, he heard a rustle in the bushes and jumped. Out stepped the fox, and he asked, "Why have you come to my home, little kitty? Don't you know who I am? I will turn you into dust and steal your life if you aren't careful." The kitten, with fear in his heart, said, "I know who you are, and I have come because I need to know the truth." "And what truth would that be, little one?" "Do you really have magic powers? Can you really turn someone to dust and steal their life?" "Oh, my little one, why is that on your curious little mind?" "Because I don't want to live like this anymore," said the kitten with a tear in his eye. "I have done bad things, and I don't want to hurt anyone ever again. If you can turn me to dust, then I can just disappear, and everyone I love will be okay again, and I won't be able to hurt them anymore." "Come here, little one," said the fox compassionately. "So you have hurt someone you love, have you?" "Yes, Mr. Fox. I don't know how to fix it. I just want to disappear and never be able to hurt them again." "I can help you, but you must be willing to no longer be the kitty cat that you are. You must undergo a transformation. I must turn you into dust, and in doing so you will become a mighty lion who will protect the ones you love, instead of hurting them. But once you are transformed, you will never go back to your old life of the kitty cat. You will be a mighty lion, and that means you will do things as lions do. Will you give up your old life to become a lion?" "I'm afraid," said that kitty cat. "Well, you were afraid of me, weren't you? Yet here you are in my den. It isn't about being afraid or unafraid. It is about going after what you want. Do you want to become a lion?" "Yes, I do, more than anything else in the whole wide world." "Then close your eyes and take a deep breath." Chapter 2 Entering the Dark Forest. Our hero finds himself at the edge of the dark, enchanted forest. Fear begins to rise in his chest, but he is very well acquainted with fear, for he has been here before. He is ready to venture out and step into the unknown again, where all of his skill, will, and character will be tested. He knows that he grows through challenges. He knows that on the other side of his comfort zone lay heaps of gold and treasure, wisdom, experience, knowledge, and growth. And yet here he stands, humbled by the woods that lay before him. Gathering his courage for this adventure, he pauses, takes a deep breath in, and consciously relaxes his shoulders down to his side. He has been here before, and he knows that his true pleasure and fulfillment comes from facing his fears and rising to every challenge life throws at him. For quite some time now, our hero has known deep down inside that something in his life was missing, wasn't complete. He knew that there was more to life than repeating the same old patterns of waking up every morning to tend to the chores, feed the pigs, goats, and horses. It was rewarding work in its own way. It wasn't particularly bad per se, and it kept him safe and warm. He simply always had this aching feeling in his heart that he was meant for something far greater. He was meant to go the distance and realize his potential. For years, his parents told him he would take over the farm in the small village community he had grown to love, but he could never shake the feeling that somewhere, deep inside his heart, was a yearning, a calling, a purpose. He was not sure what this purpose was, but he was ready to find out. He took one more deep breath in and readied himself for the adventure to come. Taking his first step past the thick brush surrounding the dark forest, he quickly became acquainted with the new atmosphere. He could smell the forest. He could feel the wet ground beneath him, fertile and ripe with adventure. And suddenly all of the apprehension he was experiencing began to dissipate, because when we take action, our senses kick in and we begin to relax deeply into the moment. So slowly, gently, easily, effortlessly, he continued through the dense forest of a beautiful mixture of trees. The most notable and abundant of them was the strong, sturdy oak tree. He then remembered what his old, wise mentor once told him.
"Young one, you are special. You don't fully understand yet, because you are just like the fruit of the tall, sturdy oak tree. You, young one, are like the acorn whose power does not lie in its size or shape or what it can do in its present form. You, young one, are special. Within you lies all of the potential of the mighty, sturdy oak tree. Within you lies the ability to stand strong and tall and plant your roots firmly into the earth. Within you lies the ability to withstand any wind that the storms of life blow your way." He pondered this for quite some time as he continued to make his way, step by step, deeper and deeper into the dark forest. His old, wise mentor was known by the title of Druid in his village. For some strange reason that our hero never fully understood, the Druid connected with and took a father-like role in his young life about 2 years ago, one summer on his journey through the village. The Druid was always telling our hero stories about his adventures and guiding him in a loving, gentle way that was an experience unique to this old and wise Druid. "The oak is a sacred tree for us, young one. Do you know why?"
"I do not know, but I always love your stories, you know that."
"The oak is known by many wise men as the ruler of the forest. They liken this stable, sturdy tree to the leader of their pantheons. Some associate the oak with a powerful deity named Zeus, some with Jupiter, and others in even more distant lands have found the reflection of their god, Thor, in the tall, mighty oak. Because of its inner strength, it grows tall and sturdy, and because it grows so tall, it towers over other trees in the forest. As the tallest tree in the land, it is often the shortest path for these lightning gods to plant their flashes of inspiration and wisdom like a seed into the womb of Mother Earth. The oak does not fear its strength, nor its possible fate, as they have hearts of strength and wisdom. Many kings choose to wear oak leaf crowns to signify their connection with this regal energy. These kings would take on the responsibility not only for protection of their land and people, but also for the abundance and fertility of the land which relied on these gods of thunder and lightning for rain to penetrate the fertile soil of the earth, bringing with it happiness, wealth, and abundance to make it through the harsh winters, war, and famine.
His mentor's kind and wise words always went with him wherever he went. His words went with him while he walked, drove the horse wagon, while he was eating his evening meals, and even when he was listening to the enchanting music of his village. He would remember and play those words back again and again while he was doing his daily chores, while he was enjoying his leisure time, and often while he lay his head down on his soft pillow for bed at night. Suddenly our hero noticed the sound of running water that pulled him out of his thoughts and into the present moment. Our young hero had always loved the sound of running water since he could remember, finding much comfort and safety in the light trickling sounds as the water bounced from stone to stone. He always marveled at the way nature worked. Water always seemed to wind its way down from places that were high to places that were lower and deeper. It was something that happened effortlessly, as if nature had a plan and a way of being that went deeper than what he could ever possibly imagine. He also knew that if you followed a stream, you were always going to find adventure. And so, following the sound of this running water, our hero ventured deeper and deeper still into the dark, enchanted forest. Before long, he found his way to the source of these sounds, as the dense forest began to give way to the banks of a relatively large brook. After following it for some time, he came to a nice place where he could easily cross by jumping from large stone to large stone, just like he used to do when he was a child. Just as our hero reached the other side, he saw a flash of light behind the tree line. He wasn't startled by this light, but his curiosity sparked like a bolt of lightning as he wondered what could make such a light out here in the dark forest. He knew in an instant that following this stream was the quickest way to find the adventure and growth that he was seeking. Chapter 3: Spirka and Grandmother Willow. Our young hero had never been this out of breath before. Panting, doubled over with his hands on his knees, searching for breath that would not come, the spark of light that caught his eye by the brook led him deep into the forest. Jumping over large, decomposing logs, through heavy, dense brush, and finally to a small clearing in the woods that was expansive. To his astonishment, in the center of this clearing was an ancient, beautiful willow tree. While trying to catch his breath, looking down at his legs, he noticed that during his travels and journey following this light through the dark forest, he cut his leg and hadn't noticed. There was blood flowing down to his boot. He began to feel the pain from this deep wound. He also felt as if his heart was going to explode, as if he had been carrying a backpack filled with heavy rocks this whole time. He took a deep breath in and relaxed his entire body, remembering that every journey and adventure comes with wounds and scars, and he was prepared for the worst. Closing his eyes and taking another deep breath, he scanned his body for the painful sensations and began to notice that there actually was no pain present. He looked down at the wound on his leg that he saw with his own 2 eyes, only to see that it was no longer there. Was he imagining things? Was he going crazy? Was the dark forest playing tricks on him? Then he remembered what the old wise druid once said.
"The mind plays tricks on us when we are not focused, centered, and grounded. Even a wise old fool like me needs to stay sharp, or my mind will start to whisper half-truths in my ear.
Shaking his head, and wondering if it was his mind playing tricks on him, or if it was the dark enchanted forest somehow making him see things that weren't there. Turning his attention back to the willow tree at the center of this grove, what seemed to be a man-made clearing, our hero noticed that the small orb of light he had been following and chasing for what seemed like forever was dancing around the mighty yet soft bark at the base of this willow tree. As he approached slowly and cautiously, yet with a definitive sense of curiosity and intrigue, this ball of light and energy began to steady itself and dim down. Now at the foot of the willow, in all of its calming and healing energy, he was able to make out a faint outline. It was a human-like figure that was still emanating a yellowish hue, except this little feminine being was about 3 inches in height and beautiful beyond reason. "Who are you?"
"I am that which you are."
"What do you mean, that which I am?"
"I am that which you are, but do not claim inside of yourself as of yet."
Confused and quite frankly astonished at the sight and conversation that was before him, our hero didn't know whether he should be afraid and run away, or continue to sit in the confusion to search for deeper meaning. "What is your name? Do you have a name?"
"My name is Spirka. I am a spirit. I come to you when you are in need of guidance, when your heart aches for answers that will not come to you from the outside world. I am the voice that speaks when no outside voice satisfies. I am that which you are, but are afraid to admit and claim. I come when you feel alone, for you are never alone. I am that which you are, my friend, and I am here to guide you through the dark forest and into the light of who you are becoming. There is no need to fear me, for I am that which you are, and cannot be anything other. Your mind is powerful, so I too am powerful. Your will is strong, so I am of strength. I am that which you are, and come when your heart calls for change and growth. There is no need to fear, because I have the answers which you seek."
Our hero took a deep breath in and integrated the wisdom of these words into every cell, muscle, and fiber of his being. He remembered the exact moment when he asked for guidance, and here it was. "So, you are my conscience then? Like Jiminy Cricket?"
"Yes and no. I am that which you are. I am the answer you seek to the questions you have not yet asked. I am your guide, and as such I will reveal to you all that you need to know when it is time for you to know. For now, simply lie down on this bed of moss under the willow tree and find peace from the wounds of the past. The wounds that hold you back, sap your energy, and guard your heart. The wounds that to this point served a valuable purpose and function to keep you alive. Now, they block you from your true potential and trap you in a cage of your own making."
Our hero knew that he could trust this voice, although he did not know exactly why he should, or if this was even really happening. But he was tired from his journey, and his heart was finally ready to let go. So our hero took in a deep belly breath and laid his head down on the mossy pillow underneath the ancient, healing, sacred willow tree, and he felt peace wash over his entire body as he sunk down into the most peaceful, healing experience, allowing healing to come to his tired heart.
"Rest, my child,"
spoke Grandmother Willow.
"You have journeyed long enough, carrying the pain of the past. You may lay to rest that which no longer serves you, as you begin to feel my healing energy wash over you like a cooling drink of water for those who wander in the desert. You are ready to be relieved of your burden, like a seed that is being planted deep within the earth, protected by a tough, strong outer shell, hardened by circumstance and fortified through experience. This shell, this armor, this cocoon of evolution meant to carry you to a time and place where you can be nourished, has served you well. It has protected you, kept you alive, guarded your heart from those who would do you harm, but now it serves as a prison that holds you back from your true purpose. And just like a seed that has been carried by the wind to its new home, to be buried deep within the black, rich, fertile soil, you too have been guided to me by your heart and unconscious mind. Allow the pains of the past to be surrendered, composted, recycled, renewed, cleansed, cleared, as you take in the first breath of your new life, breathing in deeply, relaxing down deeper. My child, you are here for so much more than you have allowed yourself to believe. The stories told to you by mothers, fathers, schools, friends, movies, books, societies have shaped your worldview and belief structures. For the stories we tell ourselves again and again become our beliefs. Our beliefs become our emotions. Our emotions feed our thoughts. Our thoughts shape our perspectives. Our perspectives become the working map and model that tell us how to interact with the world. The world is not by any means the map and model of the world that we created in our minds. Our map and model of the world is a reflection of our limited experience of the world. Our map and model of the world, once formed, becomes familiar to us. We value that which is familiar because familiarity gives us a sense of safety. But our map and model of the world, which is necessary, is only a reflection of the relationship we have with the world. We cannot know the world as it is, only as it is reflected back to us through our senses, only as it is interpreted by our filtration system. Our filtration system is a conglomeration and mixture of all of our experiences, stories, beliefs, and judgments. But we must not mistake the experiences that we have translated into a tool, a drawing, a map, for who we truly are. We are not our thoughts, feelings, experiences, actions, behaviors, minds, bodies, perspectives, maps, or models. We are that which can observe all of these things. We are the still point that does not judge these things, only observes and watches as the drama of life unfolds before our eyes, moment by moment, sitting in that stillness whose only job is to observe and be a witness to the beauty of the cosmic dance. There is nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing to fix. Listen to the wisdom of nature now as I tell you that nature neither hurries nor waits, and somehow, in some way, everything comes to pass. The seasons come and go, beings live and die. The purpose is revealed in each moment, with every inhale and every exhale of the cosmos. Within every heartbeat, there you are, the real you, the one who can let go now and surrender to the great unfolding, the dance that has been at work long before that tough protective shell came into being that you mistook for your true self. Trust this process as your ancestors have before you. Become that which you already are. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be. As you take in a deep belly breath, casting off your shell, and your inner knowing roots you down deeply into the earth.
Chapter 4. A Very Old Friend.
Psst! Hey friend, it's time to awaken from your slumber.
Our hero opened his eyes slowly and gently, feeling refreshed and oddly relieved, as if a backpack he had been carrying around for a long time filled with large, heavy stones had just fallen to the ground. There was new space in his chest that he could breathe into now, and he noticed how much more fresh air fit inside his lungs. He wasn't quite sure what Grandmother Willow did exactly, but he knew that it was powerful, and he was very grateful for the experience. He noticed that since he had laid his head to rest, day had turned into night. There was a slight chill in the air now as he looked up high into the sky past the branches of Grandmother Willow. There he saw the largest, brightest full moon of his life. And there it was, a howl that struck fear into his heart. Arrgh! He looked around for the bright light that Spirka offered, but Spirka was nowhere to be found. Starting to feel a cold sweat break out around his neck, our hero jumped swiftly to his feet. Our hero could feel all of his senses turning on. He felt the adrenaline kicking in as the hair on the back of his neck stood up. He could hear his heart beating and became aware of the slight wind nipping at his cheek. He felt the ground beneath his feet and his body readied for action, fight or flight. He noticed all the other sounds of the midnight forest playing in the background as a symphony, all irrelevant to his strained ears, searching for the signs of this powerful animal. Does it know I'm here? Has it picked up my scent? A wolf meant danger. A wolf meant that he may not make it back to his home, to his safe, warm village. Here he was, in the middle of the dark forest, with no light, with no weapons, no friends, just him and a wolf lurking out there, waiting for him to make his next move. And there it was again. Arrgh! Our hero took off running as fast as his limited vision would allow. He felt tree branches and small bushes scrape against his face and legs as he moved through the forest, away from the sound of impending doom. Something inside of him came alive as he was moving through the darkness, ducking and jumping over fallen trees. Something that was inherently different from when he was running after Spirka. There was a new vitality that he could feel flowing through his veins. In every cell, in every fiber of his being, he could feel the energy of the night flowing through him. He felt lighter, more agile, more himself. His mind was clear, his senses sharp now that he was in fear of his life. Everything that was not of this moment-to-moment experience faded away from his conscious awareness, being tucked away for when he was safe. It was no use. He knew the wolf was coming closer as the howls continued to get louder. He knew he couldn't outrun the sacred beast. His mind went silent, and he paused, took a deep breath in, and relaxed all of his awareness down into his belly, clearing his mind completely. Then the words of the druid came rushing back into his conscious awareness. The mind plays tricks on us when we are not focused, centered, and grounded. Even a wise old fool like me needs to stay sharp, or my mind will start to whisper half-truths in my ear. Was this another half-truth, like the wound on his leg? Was there really a wolf out here stalking him in the forest, or was he just imagining things again? He couldn't explain what he was feeling. It wasn't just terror anymore. It was an inner knowing that everything was going to be okay, and there was something else. A familiarity to this night, to the moon, to the heightened sensations he was experiencing. It was as if he had been here before, at some point in a long-forgotten dream. His ears pricked up as he heard a twig snapping in the tree line, and there he was, his old friend. Chapter 5: Illusion and Delusion. Hello, my friend. It's been a long time. Sevasta, is that you? What are you doing here? What is happening right now? You don't really exist. You are my imaginary friend from childhood. And yet, here I am. You aren't happy to see your old friend? It's not that, just how? How are you here right now? This isn't real. What is happening to me? Our hero was feeling lightheaded from the chase and the overwhelming experience of seeing a figment of his childhood imagination here in the flesh. Was this another trick of the dark forest? Was he losing his mind? Come with me, my friend. I have a campfire burning nice and bright to warm us up while I explain everything to put your mind at ease. They walked deeper and deeper into the dark forest, our hero following Sevasta while keeping his senses sharp. He was on the lookout for any half-truths that may be present now. Who would have thought that the words of that old druid would come in so handy on his journey? Following Sevasta through the forest, our hero took another deep, relaxing breath into his belly and allowed all the tension he was feeling to flow out of him just as they were approaching the glowing light and warmth of the fire. Take a seat, my old friend. We have much to discuss. Our hero sat down next to the fire, and Sevasta handed him a piece of bread. He didn't even notice how hungry he was until that first bite found its new resting place and home in his belly. Please, explain to me what is going on. Ever since I walked into this dark forest, strange things have been happening. I've been seeing things that aren't really there, talking to trees and following spirits. Now, I'm sitting next to a campfire next to my imaginary friend who I thought was a wolf trying to kill me. Please, help me make some sense of this situation. Am I going crazy? Put your mind and heart at ease, my friend. You are currently in the phantom realm. You mean I died? Sivasta chuckled and almost choked on his bread at this reaction. No, my friend, you did not die. The Phantom Realm resides within the subconscious minds of all beings and is connected to the Phantom Realms of all other beings. The Phantom Realm is a realm created purely of thought. If you think about it, it becomes a reality somewhere in your Phantom Realm. Most beings do not understand and therefore create many problems for themselves in the Phantom Realm. Human beings are powerful creators here. Nothing in your realm exists without first being created here in the Phantom Realm. When humans create here in the Phantom Realm, they began to mix the thoughts with powerful emotions. Emotions equals energy in motion. When enough thought and emotion have been put into the Phantom Realm creation, it causes humans to act in accordance with the phantoms they created. Once this happens, the objects, realities, outcomes, events, and yes, even entities created here in the Phantom Realm find their way into your world through your actions, habits, and deeds. Some creations in the Phantom Realm are abandoned before enough emotion and thought are put into them, and they remain unmanifest in your realm, yet still have form in the Phantom Realm. Every thought resides here. Every conscious or unconscious creation finds life in the Phantom Realm. So, that means that you, yes, my old friend, I am your creation, and as such, have an affinity towards you, and you to me. Although this was crazy, and a lot of new information, our hero took another bite of bread, and relaxed deeper into the conversation. So, why am I here? Why are you and I connecting? Am I stuck here? No, my friend, you are not stuck here. You are simply visiting so that you can uncover the deeper truths inside. You were running from the truth. When you decided to let go of the shell that was protecting your heart, you opened yourself up to the Phantom Realm. You see, most people don't actually live in the real world. Most people live in a realm of delusion. What do you mean, realm of delusion? Why are there so many realms I didn't know about? What is the realm of delusion, and why do some people live in it? I have always loved how inquisitive and curious you are, my friend. Very good questions. In order to understand the realm of delusion, we must first understand what an illusion is. Do you know what an illusion is? You mean the illusions they taught me about in school? Suddenly, a series of images popped up beside the fire. Yes, my friend, these are amazing examples of illusions at work in the two-dimensional realm that can explain the Phantom Realm rather nicely. Good job. There are 3 primary illusions that you must see through, master, and overcome if you want to escape the realm of delusion and become a mastermind. The first illusion is the illusion of depth and substance. This makes your mind perceive 3 dimensions in the realm of 2D. In the Phantom Realm, this illusion gives weight and meaning to otherwise meaningless thoughts and feelings by injecting judgments into those thoughts and feelings. This is how we manifest and experience what some have called Maya, or the Great Dream, as humans. This stubbornly persistent illusion gives our thoughts and emotions the appearance of shape, texture, weight, lightness, and solidity, when in reality they are like a picture, 2-dimensional. It is only our belief that these thoughts and emotions are real that makes them come into beingness, and our judgments of these shapes are our way of interacting with them. If you were to simply observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, in time they would pass by without much trouble, like the clouds moving across the sky or a leaf flowing down a river. But because we identify with our thoughts and emotions and judge them as being good or bad, we give them meaning and power. We try to hold on to the leaf or the cloud and say, "This is who I am. This is what I know. This is what makes me feel safe." We then step into the otherwise two-dimensional experience of thoughts and emotions and begin to find ourselves in the realm of delusion. It's just like painting a picture of the boogeyman or a T-Rex. We think about and ruminate for so long on our fears and limitations that we forget that we are the artists of this picture and our minds are the canvases. Then we spend our lives running away from the picture that we ourselves painted. These experiences, pains, and joys, although valid, when seen from another vantage point, simply collapse back into their essence. We begin to experience the truth now. The truth is that these pictures we create in our mind's eye are simply a mixture of ever-changing sensations, judgments, and thoughts that create the illusion of substance. We think it is real, therefore we treat it as such. But if we begin to think different thoughts, we will notice ourselves feeling different emotions. And as our emotional landscape begins to clear and shift, we can step into a new reality and experience. As we begin to regain consciousness over these thoughts, feelings, emotions, and judgments, the world becomes a giant canvas that we can get to paint over and rediscover every moment of every day. Life begins to open up and becomes full of wonder and newness because we are letting go of the thoughts, emotions, judgments, and stories of the past now. Allow this understanding to permeate and penetrate your mind and ruminate on this idea, for it is a fundamental principle in decoding the realm of delusion. This second illusion makes us believe there is something where there is nothing. In reality, we are perceiving the absence of substance, which we like to call a negative impression. Think about this for a moment. Because the triangle at the center of the image is not actually there. The triangle doesn't really exist. But because there are objects relating to each other in a very specific way, it gives us the impression of a triangle between the objects. This is what we call the illusion of negative impression. The grouping of these shapes together make the illusion that there is a downward-facing triangle that does not in fact exist. We often assume something to be true when in fact it only looks to be true on the surface because of the relationships to objects and experiences around us. But if we were to sit with the emptiness, the void, the truth of the moment-to-moment reality unfolding all around us, then we would be able to perceive reality much more clearly. Let's imagine you are in an argument with your romantic partner, and all of the circumstances, words, sensations, emotions, judgments, and thoughts are lining up in a very specific pattern to generate the first illusion, the illusion of depth and substance. And in this illusion, you are creating the experience in your body of sadness, anger, or defensiveness. You find yourself sitting in the middle of this picture that you have generated in your mind's eye. You're caught in the belief, and you think that it is true. Then, from the perspective of being in the center of this elaborate picture, you have created consisting of your thoughts, emotions, judgments, and past experiences being projected and overlaid onto the current situation. You look all around you, and everything lines up perfectly with your belief system that tells you, when you feel this, think this, hear this, experience this, then you get the negative impression that you should be sad, angry, or defensive. Because that's what your brain tells you should do based on your past experiences that have kept you safe. I'm asking you to step outside of your past and cast aside safety, because you are filling this beautiful, radiant, empty space that is truly unlimited potential and a place of powerful choice with the unprocessed pains of the past. It looks like you are sad. It feels like you are sad. Your thoughts may be telling you that you should be sad, angry, or defensive. But in reality, you're filling this brand new moment, this void, this place of pure potential with the patterns of the past, and allowing those old patterns to dictate your current experience and ultimately your future. But you can begin to realize and recognize that you have an opportunity and you have the power inside of you to choose how you feel and dictate the direction of energy that you give to any emotion or thought. You must no longer fall victim to the illusion of negative impressions, because this takes you out of the moment and cuts off your power. The journey you must embark upon will be filled with situations that will remind you of the past. But you are not your past, my friend. These experiences will give you the illusion of negative impression. But you must not fall into this illusion. You have an opportunity to grow and expand past the old limitations of your thoughts, feelings, judgments, and projections, and break free from that which binds your heart. You may think that you are sad, and there may even be something to be sad about in the phantom realm. You may think you are angry, and there may even be something to be angry about in the phantom realm. You may feel closed off and defensive, and within the phantom realm there may even be a reason to be closed off and defensive. But in reality, you are the generator and power source for any and all of your emotional experiences, thoughts, judgments, and projections. And you have the power to decide whether you live in an illusion and a delusion, or claim your rightful place as the mastermind. Because when you begin to master your mind, you will begin to find that you are co-creating your experience with the divine. Our minds have the capacity to direct the flow of energy to that which we focus on. When we claim victimhood and allow our minds to generate the thoughts, feelings, judgments, and illusions for us without checking them and challenging them, our primal fears will take over and manifest into our reality. But if we begin to take the reins back and direct the focus and energy with our conscious thought and an intention, then we will begin to step into a new reality of our intentional creation. My friend, have you sat under Grandmother Willow?
Yes, I have.
And what did she share with you?
She said to me, "My child, you are here for so much more than you have allowed yourself to believe. The stories told to you by mothers, fathers, schools, friends, movies, books, societies have shaped your worldview and belief structures. For the stories we tell ourselves again and again become our beliefs. Our beliefs become our emotions. Our emotions feed our thoughts. Our thoughts shape our perspectives. Our perspectives become the working map and model that tell us how to interact with the world. The world is not by any means the map and model of the world that we created in our minds. Our map and model of the world is a reflection of our limited experience of the world. Our map and model of the world, once formed, becomes familiar to us. We value that which is familiar because familiarity gives us a sense of safety. But our map and model of the world, which is necessary, is only a reflection of the relationship we have with the world. We cannot know the world as it is, only as it is reflected back to us through our senses, only as it is interpreted by our filtration system. Our filtration system is a conglomeration and mixture of all of our experiences, stories, beliefs, and judgments. But we must not mistake the experiences that we have translated into a tool, a drawing, a map for who we truly are. We are not our thoughts, feelings, experiences, actions, behaviors, minds, and bodies, perspectives, maps, or models. We are that which can observe all of these things. We are the still point that does not judge these things, only observes and watches as the drama of life unfolds before our eyes, moment by moment, sitting in that stillness whose only job is to observe and be a witness to the beauty of the cosmic dance. There is nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing to fix. Listen to the wisdom of nature now as I tell you that nature neither hurries nor waits, and somehow, in some way, everything comes to pass. The seasons come and go, beings live and die. The purpose is revealed each moment, with every inhale and every exhale of the cosmos. Within every heartbeat, there you are, the real you, the one who can let go now and surrender to the great unfolding, the dance that has been at work long before the tough, protective shell you mistook for your true self came into being. Trust this process as your ancestors have before you. Become that which you already are. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be. Yes, she has so much wisdom to offer on deep unconscious levels that we have yet to understand. But rest assured, all will be revealed to you, and all will be integrated in time. My friend, I want to reveal to you the final illusion, but I want to make sure that you understand what I have shared with you, because this last illusion is built upon the previous illusions, and in order to grasp and comprehend the final illusion, we must become the mastermind.
From what I understand so far, there are 3 primary illusions I must see through and overcome. The first illusion is the illusion of depth and substance. From what I now understand, the illusion of depth and substance happens when we give power to our thoughts, emotions, and judgments. When we give these thoughts and emotions power by injecting them with our judgments, we give them depth and substance. Just like painting a picture on a 2D surface and making it look 3-dimensional. From what I now see and understand, the illusions of depth and substance are dangerous to fall into because we paint these pictures of reality with our thoughts, emotions, and injected judgments, and begin to believe that the painting we ourselves created is real. We forget that we are the mastermind and have full control over these images we create in our heads. I can begin to see now how all of these stories I used to tell myself, like, I can't do it, I'm not enough, I will fail and no one will love me, I'm stupid, everyone I love will leave me, are simply thoughts mixed with emotions, and I have judged those emotions and thoughts to be bad. So in essence, I painted a picture of the boogeyman. I judged the boogeyman as being someone scary and something I should be running away from. But in reality, I can paint a brand new picture if I want. I can paint a picture with new thoughts and new words and change my relationship to them. I don't need to be attached to the paintings I create in my mind, and I get to choose. Wow, this is so illuminating for me. I can't believe I have never seen this before. Thank you, Sevasta. Of course, my friend. It is my pleasure, because you are a good student. Yes, I can now see that I was giving these thoughts and emotions power over me because I fell into the illusion of depth and substance. But now, I can begin to let go and change the stories. But changing the stories means that I need to sit in the void, sit in the unknown of the moment, and consciously keep myself from falling into the second illusion, which is the illusion of negative impressions. If I allow the old habitual habits and reactions, projections and stories, thoughts and emotions to fill the space of the new moment, I can never hope to experience something new and become a mastermind. If I allow myself to fall into the illusion of projection and patterns, I will expect an outcome and fill the boundless infinite space of potential that is each and every moment with the stories, emotions, and projections from my past experiences. This reinforces the picture I painted, giving the illusion of even more depth and substance and making it harder to climb out of the realm of delusion. Sevasta, I feel like my brain is downloading all of this information and firing and wiring in new neural circuits as we speak. Yes, my friend, you are doing so well, and I believe it is time to move on to the next illusion that has plagued your mind for so long. This illusion is at the root of what pains you. This illusion is the illusion that all other illusions stem from, but in order to peer into this illusion, we must first look at the illusions of depth and substance and the illusions of negative impressions. Because without this basis of understanding and knowledge, the last illusion is too powerful. My friend, you must begin incorporating this information and practice within your day-to-day life, checking and challenging your thoughts and emotions for accuracy and love. You will begin to feel emotions as sensations within your body that alerts you to the truth of a thought. These sensations within your body in the form of emotions will be unpleasant when a thought is not in alignment with your deepest truth of the moment and with love. Every time you sense an unpleasant emotion, it is your body telling you that you are out of alignment and falling into the realm of delusion. When you begin to feel these sensations in the form of unpleasant emotions, begin to ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? When you can check and challenge your thoughts by writing them down on paper and slowing down the process of unconscious thought, you can begin to find the patterns behind your thought and can consciously begin to change them. You'll begin to notice how often the same old stories come out and control you with fear as you write down and journal about your thoughts. Our life is made up of the stories we tell ourselves, and if you constantly tell yourself and believe that you are not good enough or unworthy of love, you have no hope of passing through the final illusion. You must come into the right relationship with yourself in order to pass through the realm of delusion and into your mission and purpose during this lifetime. You stand no chance against what comes before you if you are constantly at war with your own mind. Your mind is a powerful ally, or a dragon that will burn you to the ground if you do not befriend it and learn how to ride it and command it. There are some thoughts that must be treated with love because they are the voice of your inner child reaching out for comfort and love. And then there are some thoughts that must be treated as enemies of the mind. They must be seen as the lies that they are and be cut down like poisonous weeds, lest they fill your mind with poison and spread to others. This is how your mind has been poisoned. A thought, just like a seed, gets planted into the fertile soil of your unconscious mind. Now, as you begin to think about how you understand language, where has every word and definition in your vocabulary come from? How have you come to know what sound equates to what meaning? You have not defined your world on your own terms. You have simply accepted everything you hear as fact, and this is why your mind grows out of control like an untended garden. When you begin to cultivate your mind, tend to your mind, love your mind, grow your mind, expand your mind, weed your mind, then you will begin to see what I am saying can be taken as fact. Some thoughts are your inner child reaching out, asking for love, while some thoughts are generated by darkness and fear that seek to cover your light. These nefarious thoughts have been implanted in you like a seed of doubt from others who allow darkness to overtake their inner light. Who do you doubt? Do you doubt yourself, my friend? Since when did you begin to doubt yourself? Does a child learning how to walk doubt him or herself when they fall? No. The impulse of life runs strong and true in the childlike mind that we are returning to right now, entering into the Garden of Eden once again as we become the caretakers of our mind as we are the caretakers of the planet. A child who falls does not say, "I am not good enough," because thoughts like this do not occur in the pure mind. A child will fall as many times as it takes to become that which they are becoming, a fully functioning human being. If you learned to walk after you learned to doubt yourself, you would fall one time and say, "I failed, and because I failed, no one will love me." No, Cast these thoughts out of your mind for good, my friend, and become once again like a child learning to walk. Open your mind to the truth. Thought is limited, but you are infinite potential. Treat all thoughts of I am not good enough, I am unworthy, no one loves me, I will fail, I am unlovable, I can't, as if they were poison berries that, if left unchecked, will choke out all that is good in your mind. They are all forms and derivations of the same line of thinking that will sap your strength and put you at war with yourself. I am here as your protector in the Phantom Realm, my friend. This is my home, and I am very familiar with the landscapes, illusions, and pitfalls that exist within this realm. Because of the rigid outer shell that you cast off under Grandmother Willow Tree, you now have access to your unconscious realms, and I am here to protect you from illusion and lies. Whenever these thoughts begin to creep into your mind, you will find me at your side with my 2 swords of truth drawn, ready to cut down these limitations that seek to cover up your inner light. In that moment, Savasta drew his twin swords, and their steel reflected brightly off the campfire that was beginning to die out. Looking at these beautiful swords of truth, our hero felt the power behind the words being spoken to him by his longtime friend. Do you understand the importance of letting go of these thoughts now and never allowing these thoughts to enter your mind? Yes, my friend. I see these thoughts. I am not good enough. I am unworthy. No one loves me. I will fail. I am unlovable. I can't. Can and will poison my mind if I allow them through the gates of my conscious awareness. Thank you for your love and protection. I appreciate you, my old friend, and I believe I am ready to learn about the third illusion. Good. On to the third illusion, which will bring you into wholeness and allow you to expand past any preconceived limitation you or anyone else has placed on you in the past. In fact, this illusion is the illusion of limits and limitations, and once you can masterfully move past the illusion of depth and substance and the illusion of negative impressions, then the third illusion will dawn on you instantly with crystal clarity, because when you are present in the moment without filling it with the projections of the past, the third illusion ceases to manifest itself in your reality. You will be powerfully transported by this sudden realization and pop out of the realm of delusion and into the truth that has been seeking you just as much as you have been seeking it. This truth has led you on this mission, and this truth has led every true seeker of knowledge towards growth and expansion since the dawn of time. The truth that you are not alone and never have been. The truth that there is nothing that separates you from the love which you seek. The final illusion on the path of becoming a mastermind is the illusion of separation. You see, as long as you are filling up the space of pure potential with the illusion of negative impressions, then you will never peer into and beyond the illusion of separation. Up until this point in your life, you have only ever experienced yourself. You have only ever been communicating with yourself, looking at yourself, and trying to receive and take from yourself. Because you believe your thoughts and emotions to be true, you've never peered past the mind into the miracle of life. Because you have never understood that the three-dimensional world is manifested from the same material as you haven't recognized that you are that which you see. You are that which you seek. It is all you, and you are all of it. When you speak with a loved one, you do not really speak to them. You speak with the projections, ideas, emotions, and judgments you have about them. And they do the same with you, because you do not see the truth. If you were to pause and be with the miracle of each and every moment now, and begin to recognize that your body is nothing more than a colony of cells that has decided through habitual genetic patterning to organize themselves into a harmonious union with each other to serve one another in love, in growth, in harmony, in expansion, in evolution, for the greatest and highest good of all involved, according to the divine will of love unfolding. Then you would begin to see that those cells are simply made up of what you as humans call atoms. In Greek, the prefix a means not, and the word tomos means cut. So your word atom comes from atomos, the Greek word meaning uncuttable or indivisible. Your cells understand on a deep unconscious level, and even your language speaks to the unconscious knowing that you are indivisible. You cannot exist separately from any other, and that feeling of separation is an illusion that your mind cannot look past, because its job is to slice and cut and dissect the information it receives so as not to overwhelm you with the infinite experience of life. Without one another, your cells would cease to be. Your heart supports your lungs, which supports your blood, which supports your stomach, which supports your intestines, which sends nutrients to your brain, which allows you to move and interact with the world, which allows you to continue to grow and expand in accordance with the law of advancement, in love, in growth, in harmony, in expansion, in evolution, for the greatest and highest good of all involved. All life advances and grows towards expansion, and once that flow is reversed, it moves towards death and decay, which is simply fuel and substance for the next round of life, ever expanding. You see, if the basic building blocks of your beingness cease to be when they are cut off from the whole, then how can you be fulfilled, thinking that you are separate from all that is? If your heart cannot function on its own accord, what makes you think your heart can exist separately from other hearts? If your lungs cannot function on their own accord, then what makes you think your lungs can exist separately from the breath of life emanating from planet Earth's trees and plant kingdom? My friend, you are a reflection of the microcosm as well as the macrocosm, and as such, you are the bridge of the universe. You are a part of the grand orchestra playing its beautiful, sweet symphony throughout the ages, and you have the wonderful gift of being able to direct conscious thought with your mind. You say, I doubt myself. Who am I to be a part of this beauty and this wholeness? And I say, who are you to be separate from it? You are a divine being of light and love, here to overcome the fear and illusion of this third dimension. You are here like a beacon of love, sent from above to plant a seed of truth and heart-centered oneness with all of those who have ears to listen and eyes to see. You are here for a greater purpose than you can ever imagine, because you cannot see how your thoughts and actions ripple out into the universe through the eons. Your contribution is as significant as the heart cell doing everything it can to make sure the blood moves through the heart and into every other part of the universal body of conscious awareness. You see yourself as small and insignificant, but these are just thoughts and emotions injected with judgment passed on from those who have been poisoned by the fruit of falsehood through the illusion of depth in substance. Do not let this illusion control your mind any longer. Break free from the shackles holding you hostage inside of your own mind. It is simply a story and a picture that you now have full conscious control over. It is time to pick up the pen, cast off the old pages written by those who do not see through illusion, and write your own story, my friend. You can pick up the brush, and with the energy of love flowing through each and every one of your cells, begin to paint upon the canvas of your mind a new picture that will inspire all of those who look upon it. Become the mastermind. You see unity where others can only see the illusion of separation. Become the beacon of light and hope in this world of delusion that spreads the message of truth among the many. For far too long, we have allowed this poison to seep into our minds by those claiming to love us, but no more. We cast out the lies that I am not good enough, I am unworthy, no one loves me, I will fail, I am unlovable, I can't. And we cut them at the roots with the sword of truth and our loving conscious awareness now. Allow yourself to become one with the atom as we begin to dive into the raw power that is singularity. When an atom, the uncuttable, is split and separated, an incredible amount of energy is released, as seen in an atomic bomb. Each and every atom in your body holds that very same power and significance. With the power of the atom, we can choose to further separate ourselves from others, from nature, from the flow of the divine love and abundance. Or we can use that power and significance in accordance with the law of advancement, in love, in growth, in harmony, in expansion, in evolution, for the greatest and highest good of all involved. Allow yourself to feel how tiny and insignificant one atom seems, and then begin to recognize that all there is in manifest reality are atoms. How can something that is the basic building block of everything in the material world be insignificant? It is the only thing in existence. And how can you, a being made up of atomic power, tell himself, I am not good enough, I am unworthy, no one loves me, I will fail, I'm unlovable, I can't. Never again will these words plague your mind. Consider them illusion, broken, shattered, smashed, annihilated, cast aside, burned, ground down into dust, and blown away with the wind. And begin to recognize yourself as a truly loving, worthy being of heart-centered harmony, because behind this atom that you are is wisdom and knowledge. This wisdom and knowledge are the perfect splendor and attunement that keeps the planets spinning and the stars popping in and out of existence. This consciousness drives every cell in your body to work in harmonious union, vibrating at the frequency of love and communion with one another for the greater good of the whole. You, my friend, think you must seek love outside of you, when in fact, you are that which you seek. Every single cell in your body loves every other cell in your body, and that is why when you are in illusion, when you feel alone, when you feel separated, when you feel unworthy, not good enough, when you tell yourself you can't, when you say to yourself, no one will ever love me, you are lying to every single cell of your body. And every single cell of your body reacts to these lies and illusions by sending you signals of pain and discomfort. These signals are now your primary signal to recognize that something is out of alignment, and your only job in this lifetime is to find alignment with love. When you are in alignment with yourself, and in doing so in alignment with all that is, you are also in that moment in alignment with love. And love is about supporting every part of the whole. You will never hear a cell say to another cell, "Go away, I don't love you," because that cell knows it needs each and every cell to work in harmonious communion with one another, in love, in growth, in harmony, in expansion and evolution, for the greatest and highest good of all involved. And when one cell has died and fallen away, the other cells do not mourn, because they know that it has served in love and it has died in love. There is no reason to fear death when you are in alignment with love and truth, because death is simply an accompaniment to life. In the same way, when a string breaks on a violin, the entire orchestra does not cease to play. No, that string is replaced with a steady, loving, and patient hand as all comes back into perfect harmony, because it is not about the string. It is never about the string. It is about the beautiful music that the string holds within it. But you may ask, what if a string tells itself that I am not good enough to be part of this orchestra? I am unworthy to play alongside you and receive standing ovations from the crowd. No one loves me because there are so many other good strings on this violin. I will fail, so why should I even show up? I am unlovable, and no one even cares to listen to me because I'm too insignificant. I can't allow myself to be played, because what if I'm not good enough? What would you tell a violin string that spoke to itself that way? I will tell it the truth. You are beautiful and amazing. You are unique and significant. It matters not for how long or how well you've played. What truly matters is you gave your gift and contributed your part. Without you, what hand would be able to produce such sweet music through you? You see, each cell knows that it is mortal. Each cell knows that it will be replaced in the cycle of life. Round and round it goes like a carousel that never stops, and yet each and every cell still serves in harmonious love anyway, never ceasing to do that which they are here to do, and giving that which they are here to give. In love, in growth, in harmony, in expansion, in evolution, for the greatest and highest good of all involved. Do not let the illusion of separation keep you from the truth. the truth that you are here to give the precious gift that you were sent here to give. If you seek only to take, that would be like the stomach stealing breath from the lungs. Even if it were possible, what would the stomach do with air? For the stomach was not built for air. And you, my friend, were built for love. So what would you do with anything taken from someone else that is not harmoniously given to you? You see, when you come into alignment with love and release this illusion that you are separate and that you must do it alone, then all of those who vibrate at the frequency of love will come to your aid, bringing you the oxygen, care, support, money, clothing, food, shelter, and anything else you need in order to manifest your deepest purpose and mission in this world. Because when you align yourself with love, the body of the universe will not allow you to go without. Because it is in the universe's highest and best interest for you to be well, healthy, and nourished, so that it can manifest itself through you to its highest capacity. Just like when your belly says you're hungry, you bring it nourishment with food. When your blood thickens and needs water, your body asks for water and you drink. When you are in alignment with love, you are in direct communication with the mastermind, and the mastermind wants what is best for you. You must fear not on this mission through the third dimension, my old friend, because you are here for a reason and purpose that is far bigger than you can ever imagine. Because atoms coming together create molecules, molecules come together to birth a cell, cells come together to make way for tissues, and tissues working in harmonious fashion rise up in an evolutionary leap to become organs. Organs all working together, contributing happily to their strengths and supporting one another, create an organism. Let's just call this organism a human. When humans are in alignment with love and are harmoniously living in communion with one another, supporting one another, they become a family. Families come together to make a tribe. Tribes communicate and trade and work alongside one another. One tribe specializes in building homes, while the next tribe harnesses running water. When these tribes coexist in harmony, they begin to develop communities and towns. Towns powerfully working together create cities. Cities becoming states. States becoming countries. Countries becoming continents. Continents fall away now as we begin to gain a clearer perspective, recognizing the planet as one whole living, breathing being and organism. In the same way that each cell has a job to do of vital importance to the function of the whole, the humans of this world play a pivotal role to the collective functioning of the planet. It is our job to shift into love now and dissolve the illusion of separation, because the planet is ready to be reborn into its next stage of evolution, just like the caterpillar cracking open its cocoon and revealing the butterfly for all to see. The caterpillar must dissolve in order to make way for the butterfly, and in the very same way, our illusions and ego must be dissolved in love to make way for our next step into higher alignment and vibration. If you do not see the importance of coming into alignment with love and releasing the old thoughts of I am not good enough, I am unworthy, no one loves me, I will fail, I am unlovable, I can't, then take a moment to view the planet from above. The very same planet that is nothing more than an unimaginable amount of atoms working together in perfect love and harmony to create a larger whole that functions for the greatest and highest good of all those involved. Begin to see this planet being a perfectly balanced, passionate, skillful violinist in the harmonious song and dance of our solar system. Begin to recognize that your heart is directly connected to and linked with this cosmic dance, and in sacred harmony with the heart of the sun and the heart of the planets. No matter how small you may think you are a significant player in this cosmic game of love and harmony, just as every cell in your body is a significant player in this microcosmic orchestra of love and harmony playing in and throughout your entire body. You, my friend, are now ready for the next phase of your journey. You have now become the mastermind, because you have torn down the veils of illusion that separate you from the mastermind. You can now see beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are love and that you are significant. You are here to plant a seed of wisdom and give the gift of love that can only take shape by way of your unique hands. You are here to open up and expand past your perceived limitations and come back into alignment with all that is, because you are a part of all that is. Your consciousness has and will continue to expand as you continue to allow these teachings to penetrate and permeate every cell, muscle, and fiber of your being. You cannot get it wrong. And you cannot fail because you are already it. You are already all that is, and there is no doing it wrong, my friend. There is simply layer after layer of higher alignment that you will attain as you continue to cast off all the illusions of depth and substance, negative impressions, and the illusion of separation.